I was fucking right, y'all. We got the new Zay, so now all we need is the new SZA and Soul, and we are good. What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad, Woolly, and you are here again for another edition of Woolly Reviews Hip Hop Data. We got an album review today. We're talking about the brand new album that just fucking dropped from a nigga from TDE. This nigga's back. I just reviewed his track. Now he's back with the full length. I called the shit. Talking about the new album from Isaiah Rashad entitled The Sun's Tirade. Now, for those who don't know, I already broke it down, but I'll do it again. Isaiah Rashad is a Chattanooga rapper signed to TDE. He's been around for a little bit. He dropped his debut Sylvia demo back in 2014, and it got a lot of rave reviews. Everybody was like, yo, this nigga's next. And then we was all waiting for his new album, and it took about 2 years, and now he's finally back with his full-length album, his official, I guess, TDE debut, I guess, Sylvia demo, which is the demo. And it sounds like a goddamn demo. It sounds like an album to me, nigga. But we're going to talk about the new shit, which is supposed to be the true shit. So now let's see if The Sun's Tirade is better than Sylvia demo, or if this should have been the goddamn demo and Sylvia demo should have been the real shit. I don't know what's happening. Fuck it, let's just talk about the shit. So when I first put on this album and I tuned into the production, I quickly realized that this shit is some super low-key, chill, real laid-back fucking music. Isaiah Rashad tends to go that route. Even his latest singles have been that way. But this entire album is like a straight-up 17-song, chill, laid-back, nothing to do fest. And this album actually, on the sound tip, on the production tip, it's a little dull, y'all. It's a little matte. I mean, no production on here really stuck out to me. I mean, it's just that same, like, laid back, like, smooth southern vibe, and I get that. I can appreciate that. But, like, when it's, like, 17 songs and it's just that over and over and over again, it's like, it just doesn't sound, it sounds like one hodgepodge of the same shit. And that's what it is with this album. Like, I wouldn't say any of the beats on here are whack. I'm just saying that because they all sound the same and have that same vibe and tone and just feel to them. Like, after the first few tracks and you just keep hearing that over and over again, you tend to start tuning out and it starts to sound just like background music for the most part. There's no real, like, peaks and valleys with this album. Usually when you hear an album, you gotta hear like those super high level tracks and the low key tracks, and you get the tracks that just kind of hit in that middle. Well, this whole album is like a straight line down a long road that goes to nowhere but the end, and it's like nothing changes. There's no turns, there's no hills, there's nothing. It's that same fucking just straight line vibe, and that kind of disappoints me on the production tip, because I was hoping with the singles that he dropped, with them being all so low key, that he was gonna hit us with the okie doke on this album and just give us some bangers and some crazy fucking tracks, and we didn't get that. We just got more of what we were getting before, the year before when he was dropping singles. And I'm like, yo, like, Isaiah, like, I know you like chill beats, nigga, but you can't have 17 songs full of chillness and like expect us to like still be like, yo, hype about this shit. Like, I got not hyped one time on this album. I was just sitting there like, okay, it's gonna get hype, right? Zay, it's gonna get hype. I'm gonna wild out soon, right? Track 15, I'm still out wilding out. Zay, 17, it's over, right? What do you do? And that's pretty much I got from the whole vibe of the production. I got the producer list on here, and he used a lot of motherfuckers that I don't even know who they are, but I'm gonna run down. He got the Antidote, Al B. Smooth, Cam O.B., okay, I remember that motherfucker. Carter Lang, all right. Chris Calor, okay. Crooklyn, I know a nigga named Crooklyn, but it probably ain't him. He don't make beats. D. Sanders, okay. Dave Free, okay, I know Dave Free. Deacon Blues, DK the Punisher, okay, that sounds like a goddamn Marvel character, but all right. Fucking Dizoni Beats, okay. Francis got heat. Well, Francis, where was it at, nigga? Okay, Free P, all right. J Pounds, know that nigga. Jowin, Mike Will made it, all right, know that nigga. Steve Lacy, all right. Park Ave, plus Pops and Tiggy. All right, so all the motherfuckers on here did some of the beats on this motherfucking album, or all the beats on this motherfucking album, and it's pretty much like I said, they all brought some quality beats, but they're just all the same fucking tone and vibe. And I don't know if that has to do with Isaiah picking the beats, like he was like, yo, I want that beat, I want that beat. Like, couldn't somebody at TDE be like, yo, Zay, how about you change up the beat selection a little bit? And Zay was like, fuck you, nigga, that's my album, shut the fuck up, nigga, and mix the shit. But it's just that the overall collection of this production on here just makes for a very dull and mad listen. And I listened to this album like 10 times back to back, and I got the same end result, just meh, or just forgettable. And I still can't remember a beat. Like, I can remember like 3 of the beats, how they sounded, but the rest of them, I just can't even fucking remember them because they just don't stand out to me. And now we gotta talk about Zay, because I mean, Zay, let's just talk about Zay. So when it comes to Zay on this album, like, we know Zay can rap. Zay got bars, Zay is dope. But the thing about it on this album, Zay kind of went somewhere else on this album. Like, he's real low-key, just like these beats. He's trying the singing thing. He's kind of mumbling sometimes. And it's just like, he's really not giving us that same bite and just like hunger that we got on Sylvia Demo. And I don't fucking know why, but it's just not there. It's like we got a completely different sounding Zay and a different vibe, and I don't know if it's because he was just trying something new. I don't know if it's because the pressure that he got from Sylvia Demo to make a great album, and also from being on TDE, he wanted to try something new and try to really just go outside the box like all his other counterparts were doing. But the problem is that he didn't really just do it the right way. I found myself just kind of tuning out of Zay for the most part for this entire album, except for a few songs here and there. But it's just like he wasn't like really like rapping bad or doing anything bad. It's just it was just meh. It was blah. Like I didn't really get any feeling or anything out of it. And actually with this album, I don't even really know what the whole concept or theme or point of this album is. And Zay does have a few features on here, and actually the features on here actually caught me more than Zay himself, which is sad. But like he's got, hold on, I got it right here. He got that nigga named Sir, okay. He got Kendrick on here, Zakari, Deacon Blues, all right, Kari Fox, Sid, J-Rock, SZA. Shit, is that it? That's it. So it wasn't that many on here. Most of them are TDE camper people who we just know, I guess, close and personally, because I haven't heard of some of the other cats on here. But they all come through with some solid work, solid verses. I gotta say that Kendrick and J-Rock had the best verses on here, and they had the most energy and the most just like the verses that really caught me, and those are actually some of my favorite songs because of them being on there and not so much Zay. And also Schoolboy's on here. He's doing like this, like these skits within the album where he's on like the phone or the voicemail. He's just leaving random voicemails about his album, about him, and that's actually very entertaining and whatnot. And I wish they had more of that in there because it's kind of sad that the most entertaining part of the Zay album comes from the other members of TDE and not Zay himself. Now, you know I gotta give him a top 5 tracks, and this is hard, y'all, because I could not come up with 5 tracks that I like. Like I said, this entire album was just blah and just meh to me. So like I really couldn't even find songs that I was like, yo, I like this song, and I couldn't say it confidently. There's only 3 songs on here that I actually could say I liked and enjoyed and went back and played a couple times and just like was like, yo, this is a dope track. And it is Free Lunch, of course, and then also, hold on, I thought I had the shit, What's Wrong, and it's also the Titty and Dollar. So those are the only 3 songs that I really enjoyed. So let me go back to the top. So Free Lunch, I've already reviewed Free Lunch. You know how I feel about it. I think it's a dope song. I like the vibe of it. It has probably, for the more low-key beats, it has probably one of the more memorable beats on there. And if you want to hear anything else about Free Lunch, watch my goddamn track review. I ain't going back to it. But it's a dope track, especially within the context of this album. It's one of the doper songs, so definitely check this shit out because it is a true standout, and I'm glad that they picked that as a single. The next song is What's Wrong, and this is probably my favorite song on the entire project. I like the vibe of it. I like the sound of it, even though it's still low-key, but actually it's mostly because of Kendrick's verse on here. He kills it on here. He comes through with a very nice energy, rapid-fire verse, and it just stands out. Like they put it at the end of the track, and I mean, it should have been. It's a good way to close it out. And the song is pretty much about Isaiah and Kendrick battling with their emotions and intentions, and it's just pretty much them just reflecting on themselves and how they are. It's a dope track. I really like it. It is a standout, so it's something that you should definitely check out, especially for the Kendrick verse because he does kill it on that motherfucker, as always. This nigga just don't miss. He does not miss at all. When will he miss? We don't fucking know. And the last song is Titty and Dollar, and this song's pretty much about titty and dollars and their success and whatnot's going on. And I like this track. It's got probably the most energy out of every track on here. It's got a really dope verse from J-Rock. I like J-Rock. J-Rock sounds a little different on here, but he sounds a lot more hungry. Like, J-Rock's getting better and better every time I hear him. So I'm liking what J-Rock's doing. I'm looking forward to his next album because I know it's going to be crazy. And as far as the beat itself, it's got a very weird little whistle sound in there. It kind of reminds me of like an old Western, like the Kill Bill's like whistle thing. I really like that in there. It's got a nice little touch to it. And it's just like one of those tracks that really, it's a track about just them bragging about their shit, but the vibe of it, the feel of it is really, really dope, and it just kind of fits well. And that's the track where you kind of hear more umph in Isaiah's voice, and kind of you get a little bit of fucking momentum, but not that much. But it quickly just cancels back out. But like I think it is a standout based on the J-Rock verse itself. Like I said, with the Kendrick verse, the TDE members come through and really just accentuate these actual tracks. Because if it was just Zay himself, it would just been more of just a meh blah scenario. And as far as this whole album's concerned, it's like, I don't want y'all to think that I hate this album. I don't hate this album, I'm just disappointed with this album. It's like, I really expected this album to be fucking so goddamn dope. I mean, with Sylvia Demo and how that went out, I was just hoping to get like a beefed up version of that, or just like something that's just as crazy as that, and I did not get that. I just listened to this album and I really didn't feel anything. It was mad. I could put it on and play it front to back, and it's just like a background music type thing. There's nothing that jumps out to you from Zay's standpoint or the production standpoint. And with us waiting so long and the hype building up for a new Isaiah Rashad project, I honestly feel like this is a letdown, and I really don't feel like this album is gonna stand the test of time, especially next to its counterparts on TDE. I mean, like, you got people like Schoolboy Q and J-Rock and Kendrick all dropping really great quality albums, and I know that's a lot of pressure for Zay, especially coming in, because he's the new cat, he's the young cat, but yo, you gotta kind of step it up at the time when it needs to be done, because like, yo, we was expecting a crazy album, and we just got a really just blah, dull, forgettable album, and I just really know Isaiah can pull off something way better than what the fuck we got. So I'm just disappointed, Zay. I'm not mad at you. I mean, yo, I understand there's a lot of pressure, but next time you gotta do better. You just gotta do better. So my final verdict, I'm not saying that Isaiah Rashad, The Sun's Tirade is an overall very disappointing but very listenable album at the same time. All I'm saying is that I expected more from this shit. I mean, the production on here is solid, but it's just the same vibe and tone, and you get really tuned out and bored with it in the album itself. And the same goes for Zay. He really doesn't have the same punch and just that same just ferociousness that we got on Sylvia Demo. And there's no real tracks on here that really jump out at you. I mean, the tracks with Kendrick and J-Rock are really nice, but for the most part, there's nothing really here to really just go back and be like, yo, this is a crazy fucking album. You can play the shit front to back, and then like if you tune it out or really just hear it as background music, you can listen to the whole thing because it's that same vibe, but it won't catch you, it won't grab you. It didn't grab me, at least, and then it's just something that I think I won't be listening to again anytime soon. I'd rather go back and listen to Sylvia Demo a few more times than wait for the next Zay album, because this one here is just a bit disappointing to me, and it's just so sad because we was all looking forward to this Zay. I mean, I gotta be honest with you, I'm not gonna sugarcoat the shit. Yo, I thought it would have been a way better album than what we got, but not by no means is this shit whack. It's just not as great as it should have been, and it is mediocre, and it's decent at best. So all I gotta say is that for me, Isaiah Rashad, The Sun's Tirade is not Granddad approved, but I will give it a just barely Granddad recommended. And that hurts my heart to say, because I really don't want to give you that rating, Zay, but like, yo, this album's just not memorable to me, dude, and like, I mean, it's just not that great to me, and there's just nothing here that stands out, and I won't go back and listen to this shit. Only in those 3 tracks that I like, those were a stretch, but like, yo, like, please, next album, give us something, give us some energy, give us some, just vary up the production, give us something that we can really bite and latch into, because this right here it just didn't do it for me. Like, some people gonna love this album. Isaiah Rashad fans who like, yo, this album's the shit, don't go at me like crazy. Like, yo, you gotta listen to the shit and like get what I'm saying. Spotlight, nigga! Today's Indie Spotlight is actually a website, and we're talking about hiphopundead.com. A very dope website, up and coming. I was actually posted on there, so you know, they official. They're real official if they got the Granddad on that motherfucker. But they also got a lot of dope things on there. They put people's music on there, music videos. They do reviews themselves. They also got a section where they talk about comic books and whatnot, some little different things if you a nerd for that shit. They also have cool articles and segments like Hip Hop is Infinite and Leaders of the New School that talks about the current state of hip hop and everything that's going on. They also have something called the Street Geek Podcast, which you should definitely check out. They also promote a lot of dope hip hop, none of that bullshit. They drop the good shit. So definitely check them out. They're a very unique website for the hip hop space that you should really just check out and see what they got going on. I fucks with them. They fucks with me, so I'm showing them the love. And yo, I mean, like, if you want us to find some good hip hop, some good comic shit, or just some very interesting stuff to read, check out hiphopundead.com, because that's what I fucking do. So now, back to our regularly scheduled review. But I got nothing more to say. Isaiah Rashad, The Sun's Tirade, is just barely Granddad recommended. So go check out the shit, but don't get your hopes up, because I didn't. I'm disappointed. Zay, I am. I'm flip it. All right, y'all, that's gonna do it for today's video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. Tell me what you think of Isaiah Rashad, The Sun's Tirade, if you've heard it. If you haven't heard it, like I said, it's just disappointing, y'all. I'm sorry. I just gotta say it. I mean, like, I was expecting way more from this shit. It's just a meh, dull, blah listen, and I wanted more from this shit that I didn't get. It's by no means whack on a lyrical or even production standpoint. It's just blah. I mean, give me more. I just needed fucking more. I took nothing away from this album, and that's a goddamn shame. Previous videos on the side was my latest single. Check that out. Show us some love. And as always, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram. Links in the description below. And subscribe. Button on the screen. Button below. Woolly Reviews. Twice a week. Gaming channel. Check that out. And the CDK studies, of course. Check that shit out. And all the other good shit I do. Indie Spotlight. You know what it is. Info below. And I got nothing more to say. So until next time I take my leave. Granddaughter. Isaiah Rashad. The Son's Tirade. Zay. I'm gonna give you another shot. Next album, I'm gonna forget this, and you're gonna do better next time. I know you will. I know you will. You better, goddammit. I'm out of here.